We have the new subclasses and Fizbans. What should we talk about first?
Well, let's start with the monk and talk about Way of the Ascendant Dragon.
I'm Nerdarchy Ted.
I'm Nerdarchy Dave. Welcome to Nerdarchy. For nerds, by nerds.
Now let's give a kapow on into this video.
All right, so we're going to jump into our Fizban's Treasury of Dragons here to take a look at these.
All right, so if you haven't had a chance to actually check this out yet, there's a reason why I was giving a kapow, because Fizban says my favorite Ascendant Dragon monks all narrate their bodily attacks aloud with fun onomatopoeias. Swish, kapow indeed.
And with that, we have the dragon god Bahamut is known to travel the material plane in the guise of a young monk, and legend says that he founded the first monastery of the Way of the Ascendant Dragon in disguise. The fundamental teaching of this tradition holds that by emulating dragons, a monk becomes a more integrated part of the world and its magic. By ordering their spirit to resonate with the draconic might, monks who follow this tradition augment their prowess in battle, bolster their allies, and can even soar through the air on draconic wings. But all of this power is in service of a greater goal, achieving a spiritual unity with the essence of the material plane. As a follower of the Way of the Ascendant Dragon, decide how you unlock the power of the dragons within yourself. The Ascendant Dragon Origin Table offers a number of possibilities.
So it could be you honed your abilities by aligning your spirit with a dragon's world-altering power. A dragon personally took an active role in shaping your inner energy. Or you studied at a monastery that traces its teachings back centuries or more in a single dragon's instruction. Or one that is devoted to a dragon god.
Spent long stretches meditating in the region around an ancient dragon's lair, absorbing that lair's ambient magic. You found a scroll written in Draconic that contains inspiring new techniques. After a dream featuring a 5-handed dragonborn, you awoke with the mystical breath of dragons. Before we get into it any further, just quick reminder, as you see, we got a couple of these Fizbans, Treasury of Dragon books, and if you're familiar with the channel, you may know what that means. If not, I'm going to tell you. If you happen to be a patron or a member of our newsletter, we do monthly giveaways every month. So we have a few of these, and they're all going into the pile. I don't know if there's 2 or 3, and one of them is a special cover, and then we have some regular covers. So if that interests you, you might want to sign up for one of those things in order to, possibly get your own copy. But hey, you can't wait till then. No problem. We have a link down in the description to the book over on Amazon. It's an affiliate link. It helps support the channel.
But hey, you're looking for another way that you might want to help out the channel? Why not come check us out over on Patreon and support us over there?
As a special thank you, you'll receive 5E rewards for both players and DMs alike. And those rewards may take the shape of drop-in encounters, maps from our own games, feats, spells, subclasses, races, magic items that we sometimes turn into print and play, magic item cards, and probably a host of other things I'm not even thinking about. You can either go to the link down in the description, or there will be a card up here, and there's actually a free download sample that you can take advantage of to take a look at the rewards and see if that is something that interests you.
So first up, for the Way of Ascendant Monk, Draconic Disciple. You can channel Draconic power to magnify your presence and imbue your unarmed strikes with the essence of a dragon's breath. You gain the following abilities. Draconic Presence. If you fail a Charisma Intimidation or Charisma Persuasion check, you can use your reaction to reroll the check as you tap into the mighty presence of dragons. Once this feature turns a failure into a success, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. Draconic Strike. When you damage a target with an unarmed strike, you can change the damage type to Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, or Poison. And Tongue of Dragons. You learn to speak, read, and write Draconic or one other language of your choice.
So I feel like we're incorporating all 3 pillars here, with Draconic Presence, obviously the social pillar, and it's cool because you get to keep using it until it works, right? So you never waste it. That's cool. It just requires a reaction. How often you use reactions during your social encounters anyway. Very nice. Draconic Strike. Just change the type of damage you're doing. Obviously, it's going to be a combat application. And Tongue of Dragons is you get another language. So it just gives you another way to interact with the world. And if you already have Draconic, no big deal. Just pick another language.
Just pick another language. Now, I question... Normally, monks, their attacks become magical at 6th level. Here, we're getting the ability. It doesn't say once per combat or use a key point. It just says when you damage a target with an unarmed strike, you can change the damage type to one of these choices. You're not picking it when you pick this subclass. At any point in time, you can do any of these 5 damage types. Like, hit it with acid. Okay, it's immune. All right, hit it with lightning. Okay, flurry of blows. Hit it with it. Like, you can just keep going and, see what winds up happening. It's still an unarmed attack, so it's still going to allow you to use your monk damage die. This is incredible, and I feel like, all right, it's the most common damage type, so it's going to have the chances of, having things that are, easily resisted. But if you find something that's vulnerable, like, all right, everything's going to be lightning, man. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that much different than a caster that can use cantrips that do different energy types all the time. So I don't think it's like a huge deal. It's just an option that you're going to have. You're right. Like at earlier levels, it goes from third on. You can affect things that maybe as a monk you wouldn't have normally been affected. Or you might find things that are vulnerable to certain energy types. It's just going to be that super useful. And other times you're going to find things that are immune or resistant. But sometimes you're probably just going to know anyway.
Right.
So
it's not game breaking. I'm not like, oh my god, they're breaking D&D. No, I'm not going crazy like that. It's just a scenario where I'm like, oh, this could have some ramifications, and it's earlier than monks would normally get this kind of thing. So, all right, it's there.
And that's their third level ribbon ability, by the way, because they had another ability, Breath of the Dragon. So you can channel destructive waves of energy like those created by the dragons you emulate. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace one of the attacks with an exhalation of draconic energy in either a 20-foot cone or a 30-foot line that is 5 foot wide. Your choice. Choose a damage type: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw against your key save DC, taking damage of the chosen type equal to 2 rolls of your martial arts die. On a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. 11th level of damage of this feature increases to 3 rolls of your martial arts die. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. While you have no uses available, you can spend 2 key points to use this feature again. So we got a lot of cool things going on. One, the monk just gets a lot of attacks. Well, not in addition to getting a lot of attacks, you can also now, just replace one of them with a breath weapon, possibly hitting a bunch of things.
And it's using the same format as the Dragonborn, or the new Dragonborn in this book. With it being a replacement of one of your attacks. And it's associated with your martial arts die, so it encourages you to keep gaining levels in this class. But if you don't, you still, as you gain more levels in total, you still continue gaining more uses of this ability.
Yeah, and obviously we like anything where it's like, hey, look, you've used up all your uses, but you have this resource you can spend. So that's kind of cool, especially for a monk, because you get your key points back on a short rest. So really, they'll like never run out of this breath weapon if they really don't want to. It goes up, it scales at 11th level. It starts off at actually being a little bit better than your martial arts die, which you're normal punching with, and you can hit a bunch of things at once. Which that doesn't bother me either, because usually you're not going to get your modifier,
right?
Which, especially at the early levels, is
more
as much or more than your actual martial art die. So
because you can always roll that 1
or 2 or 3. I mean, you probably have a +3, right? So like, there's only a chance of rolling a 4 to make it better anyway. So all in all, so far I'm digging what we've got.
Absolutely. 6th level, Wings Unfurled. When you use a Step of the Wind, you can unfurl spectral draconic wings from your back that vanish at the end of your turn. While the wings exist, you have a flying speed equal to your walking speed. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest.
So this one is a little more dependent on your key usage, because you can only do that so often. But it just gives you another option, and it's another way to get over obstacles, get out of trouble, get to someone you couldn't normally get to.
It improves upon an already existing monk ability, which isn't something I see a whole lot of. So I definitely dig what they're laying down with this one.
And also, the monk is already really fast. It's the fastest class in the game. So you're going to be really able to take advantage of that fly speed. So it's a nice 6th level ability. So we get Aspect of the Worm at 11th. The power of your draconic spirit now radiates from you, warding your allies or inspiring fear in your enemies. As a bonus action, you can create an aura of draconic power that radiates 10 feet from you for 1 minute. For the duration, you gain one of the following effects of your choice. Frightful Presence. When you create the aura, and as a bonus action on subsequent turns, you can choose to create a creature within the aura. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw against your key save DC or become frightened of you for 1 minute. The target can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a successful save. Also, resistance. Choose a damage type. When you activate this aura, acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison, and you and your allies within the aura have resistance to that damage. Once you create this aura, you can't create it again until you finish a long rest, unless you spend 3 key points to create it again. I don't think that Frightful Presence is going to get used a lot, but the resistance is really good.
I mean, it's possible that you want to be, scary, but it gives you the option of emulating those things that a dragon can do.
Yeah.
You can be scary, or you can be resistant to. And the aura of resistance, I agree with you, is going to probably see more use, and it helps out your allies as opposed to just possibly terrifying your enemies.
Well, the reason why I say it is because the Frightful Presence requires your bonus action every turn. And the monk is one of those classes that has a lot to do with their actions. So
I completely agree. Can't argue with that one. Ascendant Aspect 17th level, your Draconic Spirit reaches its peak. You gain the following benefits. Augment Breath. When you use your Breath of the Dragon, you can spend 1 key point to augment and shape its power. The exhalation of a draconic energy becomes either a 60-foot cone or a 90-foot line that is 5 foot wide, your choice, and each creature in that area takes damage equal to 4 rolls of your martial arts die on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one. Blind Sight. You gain Blind Sight out to 10 feet. Within that range, you can effectively see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you are blinded or in darkness. Moreover, you can see an invisible creature within that range, unless the creature successfully hides from you. And lastly, Explosive Fury. When you activate your Aspect of the Worm, Draconic Fury explodes from you. Choose any number of creatures you can see within your aura. Each of those creatures must succeed on a dex save against your key save DC, or take 3d10 acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison damage. Your choice.
Yeah, so this is a capstone ability, and it's a really good one. The reason why it's really good, 2 of your abilities actually augment other abilities that you get. One of them for free, one of them for a very low key point cost.
You're 17th level, so a single, key pointed investiture in that Dragon Breath. Nice.
Yeah, it's worth it. It's going to increase the die by 1, but the range goes up significantly.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super cool. And again, we can replace that with just replace one of our attacks with that, and we can still do all kinds of crazy monk stuff. But then we also just get Blind Sight all the time, which is really good. And and also it doesn't require any resources. It's just there.
Exactly. So a lot of fun things that's with this class. There's nothing that I think is staggering, game breaking or that kind of stuff. It's definitely more powered than some of the other monk subclasses that we've seen before, but it's not whittling away at the normal resources that a monk gets that it would use for its standard monk abilities. So for that, I give it a major thumbs up.
It is way better than any of the other monk subclasses, unfortunately. Not so much from the aspect of this particular subclass. Like, I like the subclass, but it is unfortunate when you look at it and compare it to all the others and realize how much better it is. Like the ones in Tasha's Cauldron and everything, like they've stepped up and gotten better, and there were some optional rules in there that helps the other monks out a little bit, but they still had that same problem of, everything was so reliant on their key points.
So, in other words, if you want to play a Way of the Four Elements monk, play a metallic dragonborn Way of Ascendant monk and you're golden.
Well, you'll probably be able to do way more stuff than than your Way of the Four Elements would be able to do. So I'm curious to see how they start fixing that stuff going forward. 5.5 is coming in a couple of years.
They don't use that term.
Oh, right. Well, everybody with them is using that term, and I think that's one of the big fixes we're going to probably see.
Yeah, there's a number of things, and the fact that we are seeing the revised Dragonborn finally in this, is happy. So who knows how things are gonna progress and go forward. But there it is.
Let us know what you think down in the comments below, and are you going to play this subclass? Are you excited for this subclass? I've already seen people talking about it in our comments anyway, wanting this to be official, and I think they're going to be really happy. I don't remember if there's like a huge changes between the Unearthed Arcana and what is now official, but what's official, I'm happy with it. I think it's going to work out really well. DMs in your own games, you might have to show a little extra love to those other monk classes because now they're going to need it more.
While you're down in the comments, letting us know what's going on, don't forget to stop by and like, share, subscribe, even go ahead and click on that notification bell. You know the drill.
Quick reminder, every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, we drop new videos here on the channel. Come on back, but hey, you can't wait till then, no worries. We've got you covered. If you want more Fizban's goodness from Fizban's Treasury of Dragons, we talk about the draconic races up here.
So until next time, stay nerdy.